Welcome back. So as we kickstart the week in which we celebrate Women's Day, we commemorate exemplary South African women across generations. Winnie Serobe was born in ThabaNchu in 1933, and throughout the struggle, she made a massive contribution to the fight for quality healthcare and dignity for mothers and their unborn babies. Now, an ode to my mother-in-law, Winnie Serobe, is a book by Gloria Tomatoe Serobe, who is the founding member and CEO of Wiphold, which is an investment firm owned by Black women. She joins us now virtually. Ms. Serobe, a good morning to you. And thank you so much for joining us. Really excited to chat about the book.
Good morning, Naledi. Good morning. Thank you.
I think one of the things that stood out for me when I first got my hands on it was just this idea of a woman who pays, tribute to her mother-in-law. We make jokes about the relationships with our mothers-in-law, but your mother-in-law was really the matriarch and quite an inspiration for even what you've built with Wiphold.
I think so, Naledi, the narrative around mothers-in-laws and daughters-in-laws is a horrible one. It's quite frightening. When in fact, actually, there are also very beautiful stories of how that relationship has worked for most people, except that we haven't penned it down. And I've decided to put it in writing on a document to actually share those experiences, because it's your best mentor as far as marriage is concerned.
Yeah, if you think back to her life, I mean, in the many conversations that you would then have with her as a daughter-in-law, wanting to gain as much knowledge as you can from her, what do you think are some of her greatest achievements, particularly in a pre-1994 South Africa?
Well, what she did and what one is recognizing here, and the reason I'm paying tribute to her, is that she gave everything. She threw everything at me to make it work, as a wife, as a mother, as a makoti, as a career woman. She just wanted all those things to make it work for me. And as she was doing that, she was also teaching me something else, which I was not quite familiar with, which is really the depth of the community work. Because I came straight out of university, being married, I never got involved with community work. And so in actually entrenching me in her life, she actually directed my energy towards community work in a way that even I myself did not understand. And so it comes through about everything that I do, to be honest, because I took it straight from her breast.
Yeah, I read here, Mama's leadership in the community is perhaps best demonstrated by her initial involvement and subsequent leadership of the Bethel Home of Care in Diepkloof. So talk to me about the extent of that community work, because it was care homes as well as, also ensuring that women had access to healthcare. Talk to us about what that work looked like in the community.
That particular work is probably the best in her life, to be honest, because it came at the back of HIV and AIDS and the stigma and how people got ostracized from their homes, thrown out. They needed shelter, they needed to be looked after, they needed a home away from home. And so Bethesda Home of Care became that kind of thing. And Mama, in her own way, she collected just about every network to come and make it work there. Doctors that she knew were always there. We were there to support everything financially and everything, and then made these children to be volunteer workers, which long after that, those volunteer workers have become such respected community volunteer workers, and others are in jobs. So she used to actually create a new life for what looks like a person who has been thrown out by their family, because at that time, having HIV and AIDS was a stigma and most families couldn't cope with it. And they could not accept some of the people.
That's beautiful. The idea of paying it forward and those that receive continuing to pay it forward as well in their own community. That's the kind of active citizenry that we really want to exemplify a lot. I think let's talk a little bit about some of the work that you're doing as well with Wiphold, because like I said earlier, there's the generational work that's being done by South African women. Wiphold investments that really are with Black women at the helm of this big machine that you have built. What's next for Wiphold?
So Wiphold came really because we wanted to put women into the mainstream of the economy, but it also meant that it can't be business as usual for us because we came into the world of business being suspected of being, we can't do it, we can cope, and all of that kind of thing. And so in the end, Wiphold, even if when you look at it today, we are a bit of a schizophrenic kind of company. We are very strong on the social entrepreneurship because we have linked to it the other issues of the social discord. And we have even gone into businesses where we actually felt that we need to push the boundaries here. And of course, we still want to be commercial, but we need to go to where people don't go. And we had the guts and we're not afraid to actually being there and comfortable in our skin.
Yeah.
And that's really one of the things. I'm back to my mother-in-law now that she was, as much as she wanted me to be a successful wife, mother, and makoti and all that kind of thing, she also wanted to be a very successful career woman. And she could do that because herself, she was a nurse, a career person. And she had to straddle these things of being a wife, mother, five children at the same time, and entrenching herself in community work. And she knew the difficulty of balancing that. What is always called here balancing work and family, but the support system that she actually threw at us as Omakoti Bake, and I'm saying at us as Omakoti Bake because I'm the one who wrote the book. But all her daughters-in-laws experienced her the same way. She just wanted to make it work for us. And so when we touch a project like a Wiphold, you do it with the greatest foundation because you feel safe at home.
Yeah.
You feel supported.
Yeah. Where do we get the book, Midlo?
The book is available in all the exclusive bookstores in the country and all the good bookstores, and it's also available on online on Take-A-Lot, on Lot, or exclusives. It's quite an interesting book to read, and I hope that it will create a lot of conversations in the houses that maybe this space of mother-in-law and daughter-in-law can be looked at positively.
Yeah.
Because we've got lots to do. We need to build families, and you need that mentor in your life as far as this part of family building is concerned.
Yeah. Something beautiful about the idea of having a mentor even within your marital family. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Congratulations on the book and all the best with the work that you do with Wiphold, where you're commercial but also being women and nurturing our nation as well. That there, Gloria Serobe, the author of An Ode to My Mother-in-Law, Winnie Serobe.